Today I'm showing you how to make the best buns of all time using a bag of magic tricks and a little bit of love. And here we have the magic ingredients, each one exceptionally important for making the best buns of your life. A simple all-purpose flour with 12 grams of protein. You see, it says it right there on the pack. Milk freshly squeezed from a cow's biological milk dispenser. Good old butter at room temperature. Dry active yeast or fresh yeast, whichever tickles your fancy. Amounts for both in the recipe. A gluten-free, lactose-free, on this channel vegan, egg lovingly popped out by our local chicken. Powdered sugar, or use caster sugar or fine sugar if you want. Fine grained salt from the land or the sea. A cooked paste of water and flour called a wataru, tangzong or yudane. This is where half the magic happens. The other half happens with three very crucial ingredients. Dough improver, which is just an easy to find mix of vitamin C, calcium and the carb cleaving enzyme found in flour called amylase. Everything you and your dough need to be happy and healthy. Pure wheat gluten, easily found online or in most stores. A tiny little bit of naturally produced thickening called xanthan gum, found in gluten-free baking products, lube and most stores nowadays. Finally, a simple egg wash to brush the buns with before baking, made by whisking one egg with 50 milliliters of milk. Simple. Done with the boring, onto the business. Let's make our yudane first. Add 130 milliliters of water to a small pan, followed by 25 grams of flour. Give it a good whisk and gently cook it on medium heat until it thickens. Remove from the heat and set aside to cool down a bit. Swiftly moving along, add 180 milliliters of milk to a beaker or whatever you have. Next, you add your yudane, wataru or tangzong, whatever you want to call it. Finally, follow up with an egg. Mix to combine however you like. Make sure the mixture is around room temperature before adding the yeast. Then of course, add the yeast and one more time, give it a little stir. Set that aside for now while we deal with the powdery stuff. Into a bowl goes 380 grams of flour. It's advised that you use metric measurements in this recipe or any other recipe for that matter. You know what I mean? We don't want to see tears when it comes out looking all funny. Next you add 12 grams of bread improver, 6 grams of pure wheat gluten and 0.2 grams or the tip of a knife of xanthan gum. Tiny scales are cheap and you can weigh many useful things with it. Link below for a little boy like this. 45 grams of sugar, and finally, please don't forget this, bread without it is purely horrible, 8 grams of salt. Whisk that together until well combined. Get your mixer out and attach the dough hook attachment. Get your bowl in there, add the liquid mix to the dry mix. It's important that you mix the dough for long enough so you get the right consistency and finally the best results. And after 10 minutes, you're going to add your room temperature butter. And mix for 5 more minutes. By the end of it, you'll have a smooth, stretchy dough like this. Next up, you oil a small tray and also your hands. Pop your dough onto the workbench, shave it into a rough rectangle, and get it into that tray. Cover with plastic wrap and make sure it fits flush. Place it into the fridge for an hour so the dough can relax. Meanwhile, we want to prepare our oven trays. Oil up the bottom generously and spread it out. Place a piece of parchment on top of the oil to make sure it sticks properly, and then oil the top of the parchment as well. Look at us all well prepared. Once you remove the dough from the fridge, remove the plastic wrap for now, but don't throw it away just yet. We're gonna need it in a sec. Dump your dough onto the table. What you want to do is get 8 equal pieces weighing 95 grams each. In this case, you're just gonna go half, half, and down the middle. You want to start off by just doing a little pre-shape to get them roughly into a round ball. Nothing fancy or nothing serious, just like this. We're going to rest it for 5 more minutes before we do the final shaping. For now, just do this, put them to the side, and then keep them covered with that little piece of plastic we so sparingly saved. So you just want to leave it for 5 minutes to relax a little bit, and then we're going to do the final shaping. So 5 minutes later, and our buns are ready for final shaping. Now, the best way to do this is one by one and keep them covered while you shape them all. So correct way to do this, smooth side at the bottom, and then all around the circumference, you're just going to fold it in onto itself, pinch it into the middle, keep it as tight as possible until you have a round bowl like so. pinch it at the bottom, make sure it's closed, then roll it around like this, clawing your thumb and your pinky. Pop it back underneath the plastic and continue with the rest. If at any point you rip the top layer and you overdo it, then just relax the gluten again underneath the plastic and you try again in 5 minutes. When you're done shaping them, remove the plastic and move them onto the tray. The reason you want to space these out well is because they're going to inflate to about 3 times their size. Cover with another tray turned upside down and proof in a slightly warm place. These take quite a while to rise, so be patient. It's not strange waiting for 2 to 3 hours depending on the temperature. After about an hour, you want to set your oven to 180 degrees Celsius or 356 degrees Fahrenheit. When they're fully proven, they should look exactly like this. Very provocative indeed, like a jiggly pair of voluptuous buns. As much as you want to jiggle these forever, be very careful with them because you don't want to ruin your hard work. The only thing left to do now is to very gently brush them with egg wash. Be very gentle to not knock out any of the air you've got in there. Get them into the oven and bake for 15 minutes until golden brown. When your beauties are baked, remove them from the oven and place them on a wire rack to cool down slightly. If you like fatty fingers, then brush it with melted butter. And if you like doing pointless stuff just for the hell of it, then sprinkle it with a little bit of fleur de sel, flaky salt to us mere humans. What you end up with is the lightest, fluffiest little pillows for anything to have a snoozy on. Now, of course we'll make a burger with these, a video for another day though. For now, let's marvel in the glory of the softest, sexiest buns ever made. Wow, so fluffy. Now you strike me as the kind of good person that loves amazingly smooth mashed potatoes. And that's exactly why you have to go and watch this video right here, right now, to see how it's done. And as usual, thanks for watching, love you long time, bye bye.